The modern business environment is in a permanent state of change. This makes it virtually impossible for businesses to survive in the long term without adapting to the changing desires and needs of society. In this case study, we will examine the long-lasting success and popularity of iconic brands Mercedes-Benz, Haynes Marine Industries, and AC/DC, and investigate how the indisputable quality of their products have allowed them to transcend environmental shocks where other businesses have gone defunct. Mercedes-Benz has been producing quality automobiles recognized for their engineering, technology, comfort, and safety for the last 125 years. In this time, the business has endured a series of extreme external shocks, including the social political impact of two world wars, along with severe economic downturns of the Great Depression between 1929 and 39, the OPEC oil price shock of 1973, and the more recent global financial crisis of 2008. Haynes Marine Industries have developed a similar reputation for quality vehicles since their more recent inception in 1959, though they have specialized in the marine industry. Although a considerably younger and smaller business than Mercedes, they have still enjoyed the more recent global shocks to win 15 Boat of the Year awards. AC/DC has also proven that not only traditional businesses need to adapt to their exigencies. They have shown flexibility to maintain their quality product, a raw, head-banging sound and appeal, allowing them to continue to adapt to the ever-changing music setting. On the flip side, some well-established businesses fail to maintain the quality of their products in the age of rapid technological advancement. For example, Kodak was probably the most innovative photography enterprise for a century, mass marketing the first affordable film cameras, and even inventing the modern digital photography process, but rival companies were quicker to develop quality digital cameras, ending Kodak's photography empire in bankruptcy in 2012. Similarly, smartphone company BlackBerry built itself on the quality innovations of their scroll bar and QWERTY keyboards, yet was too slow to adapt to the emergence of the more distinctive touchscreen that established the superiority of competitors like Apple and Samsung in the market, falling to a smartphone market share of 0.3% in 2016. We will look to investigate how achieving and maintaining a quality product separates these successful organizations from the one that went defunct, and offer some suggestions for maintaining this defining quality in the dynamic business environment.
Management concepts, issues and problems identified in the case. Studies carried out by Jabnow, Khalife and Yusuf of the University of Sharjah indicate that many business ventures fail in their aim to establish quality products. We will now investigate the underlying managerial issues that may contribute to this failure rate and explain how it was avoided by our successful quality-oriented businesses to establish their signature lasting quality. Environment and diversity. To begin with, the external environment that a business operates within is fundamental to how its product fares in the open market. The highly uncertain modern business setting requires the management team to focus on being adaptable and flexible to maintain their product standards. For example, when AC/DC's lead singer died in 1980, the band adapted brilliantly to replace him with a new singer who was equipped to maintain their famous and highly requested sound, allowing their quality brand to persist despite a severe external shock. Workforce diversity is also a key aspect of the internal business environment. The corporate value of a diverse employee group is a contentious issue. However, with many arguments highlighting the benefits of a different perspective in developing quality products, whilst others still point out the inherent difficulties of managing diversity, with tensions and conflicts diverting attention from the development of quality goods. Management process. Behind the success of any organisation is an effective management process, which is the process of planning, organising, leading and controlling. Planning sets the business's objectives and plans out different ways that they could be achieved. Crucially, contingency plans at this stage devise different paths to be taken when the environment changes in preconsidered ways, allowing greater flexibility when faced with external change. Organising arranges people and resources to best work together in achieving these objectives. For example, AC/DC assigned each band member with their specialty instrument in order to best achieve their objective of high quality music. Leading is the process of inspiring others to work hard. The visionary leadership of successful managers extends its motivation by bringing a clear sense of the future with an understanding of how to achieve the desired outcomes. A powerful example of such leadership and how it can drive improved quality was the appointment of the current Mercedes president and CEO Marcus Bredesworth in 2011, which halted the company's decline from first to third most luxury car sales, boosting annual sales by 25,000 units within 3 years. Final to the process is controlling. This function seeks to monitor performance of the company and take corrective action as needed to align its performance with the objectives set out in the planning step. This process is crucial to ensure product quality.
Organisations must also develop strong systems for gathering information, as this knowledge plays a critical role in deciding effective business decision making, including how to enhance product quality. This is best reflected by Haynes Marine Industries, which develops its initial high-quality crafts, primarily through founder John's family's knowledgeable history as boat makers and fishermen. In contrast, the ill-informed decisions of BlackBerry to delay investment in touchscreen technologies. Effective human resource management will also deliver higher standard products through attracting, developing and maintaining a quality workforce. This link is highlighted through Mercedes' recent revival, as discussed earlier, with the CEO directing credit for boosted sales to the HR team led by Catherine Taylor.
Of these management concerns, there are three key issues we have identified as a major factor in prevailing through change and ensuring that quality ensures: environment and diversity, planning, and controlling. If a company is able to properly handle these elements, they will almost certainly safeguard themselves from losing their quality element in the face of change. By knowing the environment that the company is operating within, they will have all the information needed to adapt more quickly. This could mean understanding that the world's moving further toward renewable and away from fossil fuel. By knowing this, the company can begin development of new engine and a whole vehicle that are able to accommodate these new fuels. It means that they stay ahead of the game and don't get left behind, allowing their quality to remain the most important part of the brand. This response to the external renewable trend is evident in the most recent announcement by Mercedes of further commitment to the electrical initiative to produce electric-powered car at the 100% renewable-powered smart plant in Embac, France. It is important that they assess all possible conditions to understand every possible external shock and have contingencies planned in place. By creating a diverse product, they also expand their client market. This means that if a part of their client market experiences difficulty, such as increasing taxes in a particular income tax bracket, that the company doesn't experience the same difficulty with it. It is instead able to quickly adapt and continue to operate at the same or a very similar level. It also provides the company with the ability to be more flexible in their adaptation. Planning is an incredibly important part of avoiding downturns that stem from changes in the environment. It is the process of deciding what the business is trying to achieve and how best to do that. It is the first and most important part in the management process, with organizing, leading, and controlling, all depending on this planning. By planning, the company is able to set out a set of ideas and standards to aim for in a number of scenarios, should be the current situation change, as well as current goal. Doing this effectively is critical in the achievement of quality maintenance. By also having plans to deal with change, the company can give themselves the greatest chance of adapting and enduring. Controlling also play an important role in ensuring quality endures. It is only through this process of measuring performance that quality can be defined and it can be determined if this is lapsing. It also allows for the more immediate facilitation of action to correct any lapses, ensuring that it is managed before it becomes apparent to the customer and affects the company names and quality.
Improving these three outcomes can simultaneously improve both the success and longevity of a business through creating a lasting quality. With an eye to bettering organisational performance in these three key areas, we will now build understanding of their associated management theories. The external business environment is composed of economic, social, cultural, political, legal, technological and natural conditions. Changes in any of these conditions offer new opportunities for businesses, but require that they possess certain capabilities to adapt, which may be either strategic or dynamic. Strategic capabilities refer to advantages over competitors that are difficult to imitate and include the likes of quality, visionary leadership, innovation, highly technical staff, differentiated products, and flexibility. Dynamic capabilities, on the other hand, allow the business to redirect resources to adapt to external change, involving the likes of flexibility in leadership and organisational culture, and long-term strategic planning. Diversity in the internal business environment is also highly useful, presenting a host of different perspectives that contribute to contingency planning and quality product design. Despite the debate discussed earlier, we will consider diversity an asset to the business, as it would appear clear that this is the direction of the future. Planning is critical to both the creation of quality and its continued achievement. The process begins with defining objectives and determining where the organisation currently stands with respect to these objectives. Specifically, the objective of achieving quality is most effectively implemented through the SMART model, meaning it is specific, measurable, actionable, reasonable, and timetabled. The planning process then crucially considers possible future conditions to anticipate future events in a process known as scenario planning. This practice puts the business in a state of readiness for any industry shocks, allowing them to quickly adjust their product and its quality to suit the new environment. For example, in response to the severe economic shock of the Great Depression, Mercedes introduced a line of small cars at the bottom of its range, a move that allowed general quality to be maintained but scaled down to a price more accessible in a recessionary society. The planning process should be concluded by choosing the best course of action to achieve the objectives in the current situation, before implementing and later evaluating the plan in its entirety. This process builds a platform of organising, leading and controlling to achieve a product of the highest possible standard. The process of controlling requires the establishment of definite performance standards, against which performance is measured and compared with objectives. Differences between this performance and objectives demand managerial attention to take corrective actions. Control mechanisms may be implemented in 3 different phases of the production cycle. Feed-forward controls ensure the right resources and direction are set before the work begins. Concurrent controls focus on what happens during the work process to ensure operations are proceeding according to the planned objectives. And finally, feedback controls focus on the quality of the end product. An example of a concurrent control mechanism was employed by AC/DC in 2016, when lead singer Brian Johnson was sidelined because of his experienced difficulties in contributing to their high-quality music. Johnson was quoted saying, "I was having difficulty hearing the guitars on stage, and because I was not able to hear the other musicians clearly, I feared the quality of my performance could be compromised."
Based on the management theory, we have devised a series of objective with time action plans for 3 successful businesses with the aim to maintain their famous standards by effectively managing these 3 crucial outcomes. This device is equally applicable to other aspiring quality-driven organizations, but we'll focus here on our example cases. Environment and diversity. Mercedes, Hain, and AC/DC are all good examples of successful business adaptation through understanding the environment. Maintaining and optimizing their adaptive abilities should be the central future plans and may be achieved through emphasizing strategy capabilities and a device internal environment. These businesses are quality-driven organizations that maintain their competitive advantages through creating high-end products that are differentiated and hard to replicate. They must continue to do things better than their competitors to maintain this quality, which require continuing hiring and training of highly specialized technical staff. They must make sure to always stay ahead of the market by knowing who their customers are and what they want, allowing them to develop a good relationship with them. This requires innovative solutions that still satisfy the stakeholder who are affected by the organization's performance.
Planning is universal to all organisations. We have therefore chosen to develop a single objective scheme that can be equally applied to any of our businesses. In essence, the key to achieving effective planning is to have a clear and concise objective. As presented earlier, this requires the use of the SMART model for developing objectives. By getting smaller, individually achievable and reasonable goals, it is more likely that all members of an organisation are able to understand the specific objectives, meaning that they are more likely to be met. By setting individual goals as part of the plan, both employees and management are better able to measure progress towards the objective, which can motivate harder work. It is also easier to introduce timetabled deadlines and correct any section of the plan that is not working or not going to be attainable when the plan is broken down. It is also important that each of the companies ensure that they have plans in place for events which are not likely, but possible, as well as their standard operating plans. If, for example, the company does not have a plan for what to do in a downturn, they might find that they fall behind very quickly.
Each branch should have goals it aspires to achieve in order to further product quality and expand the consumer base. Controlling objectives specific to each business will now be discussed. ACDC must strive to maintain their renowned sound, especially in the event of any further lineup changes. Adaptation and a continuation of working without a change to their sound may be done through periodically checking up on or ensuring current members are performing at the required level. Therefore, a replacement can then be immediately sought if needed, rather than the overall sound suffering. Haynes Marine have lately developed into a pioneer of the small powercraft industry through developing unique and trademark designs, such as a variable dead-rise hull, as well as by providing a high-quality product to consumers. But to ensure future success, they must continue innovating. A competitive edge can be maintained if Haynes Marine adapt hiring practices to target innovative and creative university graduates through either internship or full-time positions, thus resulting in the development of new technologies and designs. A key component of the Mercedes brand name is the fact that every vehicle is a guaranteed quality vehicle. Therefore, the organisation should impose more extensive final tests on each unit manufactured to ensure each vehicle sold is a precision-engineered and reliable vehicle Mercedes is renowned for. Tests which especially focus on safety and the technologies included in every vehicle.
The organization should also follow a generic three-stage development action plan. In the short term, management should look to implement a program to boost the key strategy capability identified. This includes designing and implementing new staff training to improve their technical ability and confidence to innovate, as well as renew investment in marketing to merchant or further product differentiation in the market. The medium-term responsibility of all staff members is the engagement in the training to maximize their growth as creative employees. The long-term objective of the organization should be to focus on establishing staff diversity through their staff hiring program, especially within the specialized staff such as engineer. This will further promote innovation and maximize their chance to stay ahead in their new respective market.
In the short term, it is important that each of the companies should hold meetings with all staff to determine what they hope to achieve in the coming future. These objectives should be specific and measurable as dictated by the SMART objective principles. Once this has been determined, they can set reasonable timed goals for the mid-term to work towards achieving these goals, such as formalising workshop procedures. These mid-term goals will allow the company to determine what their planning programs are effective, and everyone understands what they need to do in order to achieve them. In the long term, each company needs to set contingency plans in place. This could involve plans to increase production and maintain quality levels if the market changes and their respective products become in greater demand, as well as planning for downturns. This will allow the companies to be stronger in a changing environment as well as in their current situation.
Through the implementation of various types of controls, product quality will be safeguarded regardless of future environmental shocks. ACDC would be best suited in using concurrent control to achieve their key controlling objective previously discussed. In the short term, they should hold a meeting to ensure that the need to maintain quality is acknowledged. In the medium term, they should assess each band member's physical and psychological health and impact on the overall performance and quality of the bands. And in the long term, there should be infrequent monitoring of band members via physical and psychological checkup. A feed-forward control would be ideal for Haynes Marine to meet their control objective. In the short term, they should establish a partnership with a university with a well-renowned engineering school, such as the University of Southern Queensland, as Haynes Marine are based in the same state. In the medium term, they should implement an internship program for final year engineering students, and in the long term, advance these interns to full-time positions once graduated. Mercedes must constantly revise and improve their final quality checks, which is defined as a feedback control. In the short term, they should hold a board meeting to assess the current quality checks at the end of production. In the medium term, they should develop an improved range of stringent quality checks. In the long term, they should aim for each completed vehicle to have every safety feature and technological aspect tested to ensure it is in full working condition when sold. In conclusion, through studying our three case organisations, we've seen that many managerial issues influenced by the quality will endure external shocks. Careful consideration of environment and diversity, as well as the planning and controlling of management processes, can enhance the persistence of a business's high standards, which in turn promotes organisational longevity.